make me cry. Don't do that.
We have tissues.
Tonight, the Hudson Valley voted for change. Yeah! And across 4 counties on 2 sides of the Hudson River, in hundreds of schools and firehouses and community centers, the Democratic vote of 250,000 of our neighbors, the people have settled this debate. They have closed this campaign. And my friends, tonight we have completed our course. We've done it. We've won this race. This is your victory. Tonight we start putting people first again in the Hudson Valley and in Congress. I'm ready to accept this challenge and the responsibility that comes with this new charge. And with your help, we'll make this office work again, and we'll make this country work again for the people who need it working for them. But you know, all we've won is a grant of time, and it's a grant of time in which we have to prove ourselves. Yes. And the voters have placed their trust in us, and we will not let them down. Amen. But they've told us in a clear voice, put people first. Put people first. And put partisan politics second. And we are going to do that because now is the time for healing and it's the time for cooperation. And it's got to start right now. And in that spirit, I ask you to join me in a respectful and a sincere acknowledgement of my opponent's public service. She congratulated... she has yet to congratulate us on this victory. But listen to me, I mean this. Being in public life is hard. Being in public life is hard. It's harder than it should be now. And Congresswoman Hayworth has served her country, and we honor that. And you should acknowledge that. Yeah. Acknowledge her service. And we have such great differences with our opponents. We have such great differences, and we've engaged in such a fierce debate. And it's good that we've done this. It's good that we've done this. But we must not forget that nothing lasting, nothing meaningful is ever going to happen unless we can work with the people with whom we disagree the most. Amen. There's no way to do anything that matters unless we do that. And in the course of this campaign, you've heard me speak about my family. Well, they're here with me tonight. All right. Some of you may have heard me say that I'm the last of 6 kids in a big Irish Catholic family. You may have heard me say that my mom once told me I'm lucky to get a name. Well, my mom and dad are here tonight. Yeah. My mom and dad. My brother Mark, my sister-in-law Sharon. Randy's family is here tonight, Larry and Barb. And I just want to say a word about my folks. You know, they've been married for 63 years. Wow. Pretty sure it's going to work out. But you know, so, you know, they don't come from money. They don't come from political families. What they had was hard work and faith. And they made it in this country on one income. Because my dad worked his whole life. And my mom did too. And it wasn't easy. But you know what? Because of their sacrifice, I got to work in the White House. I got to work for the most powerful man in the world. I got to go to college. I got to go to law school. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go work in the White House. And I remember my proudest day at the White House was when my mom and dad came into that West Wing. And the Marine Guard opened that door, and they came into the Oval Office. And some of you have heard me say this. And they walked over to the desk in front of President Clinton and stood there in front of the Resolute desk in the most powerful room in the world, in front of the most powerful person in the world. And he made them feel welcome, and he made them feel like they belong there. And I can tell you that my mom and dad here probably never imagined that they would be standing in the Oval Office with the President of the United States. But it made sense to me, because that's the way they raised me. To say, like, you know, if you work hard, if you do the right thing, you can do anything in this world. And I work for a president who believed that. I work for a president who believed that the middle class matters. That it's working people that are going to change this country. And that when they walk into the most powerful room, first of all, that door ought to open up. And the person who's in that room ought to listen to them. He ought to see them. He ought to care who they are. And he ought to get up every day and work to make their lives better. That's what I'm going to do. That's what this race is about. That's what you need in Congress. Which leads me to the first of a couple of thank yous that I have to make. First, to the other guy with 3 names who had a little bit to do with this race, William Jefferson Clinton. Please give him a... He's been absolutely amazing. Now, I heard there might be some labor people in the house. Is there? Well, I've said this to you before. I've seen you work. I know how hard you've worked. I know it has been tough. And I know other people wrecked this economy and they've been blaming it on you. And I have told you before, I am sick and tired of people kicking around, working people. It's wrong. You didn't wreck this economy, other people did. And it's your hard work that's going to make it better. I want to thank the Hudson Valley Alf. I've spent a lot of time in this room. I want to thank Beth Soto. I want to thank Paul Ellis. Up here. I want to thank Janelle and Jeanette. All you guys, you've become like family to me. Brian, who am I forgetting? All of you worked so hard. And all of those who set out to be. And let me tell you what, I just have to thank a couple others real quick. I want to thank the Democratic Party faithful, the county chairs, all of whom I think are here tonight. Jonathan Jacobson and Elise Sumner and Reggie Lafayette and Victor Gross. You guys have been fantastic. All of the party activists. And I want to say a couple words about our close friends. I have to embarrass my close friend Jonathan Lewis, who's right over there, who was one of the very first people, maybe the second person I called about this race. And your family and the love you have shown me, you have adopted me as your own. I will never forget it. We cherish your friendship. Thank you, Jonathan, so much for your help in this race. Charles John O'Byrne, who was in the back. Charles John O'Byrne, my 6th brother. From another mother. And my closest confidant in this world next to Randy. Charles, thank you for your help. For my Red House principals, you know who you are. Where are you? Doug and Jim and Andrea and Sean. I went to law school with a guy named Sean Maloney and we ended up living together. Does that make any sense? Look, I just have to thank, indulge me 1 second. I have the hardest working campaign team in America, and you've seen them work, and I hope you will acknowledge them all. To the campaign manager, the leader, Tim Persico, where is he? Heart and the brains of this operation, to Dave Reardon, to Chris Moran, employee number 1, where's Chris Moran? There he is. Tom Mims, to Ryan Lehman, to Emily Savin, to my FOs, Jesse and Caitlin, and Cole and Oscar, to Evangeline George, to Courtney Fry, Becky Ferguson, to Card, Lenzino, Martin Young. All of you have been absolutely amazing. None of these guys have slept in a week. And who did I forget?
Don't forget Lawrence.
And Lawrence. Thank you so much. That's right. Where's Lawrence? Where is he? Thank you, Lawrence. And finally, let me just say, in closing, to my family, to Randy, Jesus, Daly, and Essie. These are the faces I see in the morning when I wake up, and these are the faces I see at night when I come home. You know, they're the reason I work so hard. You guys are the reason I work so hard, and you're the reason I'm not there all the time. And, you know, let me tell you something. You're the reason I'm always glad to come home after I have been at work. I love you guys with my whole heart. And let me just say in closing one thing. I think they deserve a future worth working for. Yeah, you guys do. So we enter this campaign as Democrats and Republicans, but we must end it now as Americans. We must be proud of our common country, and we must be committed to put aside in every way we can our partisan differences and work for everybody in this community, everybody in this Hudson Valley. I am not going to Congress to be the Democrat in Congress. I'm going to Congress to be your representative in Congress, speak for everybody. And that's the kind of leadership we ought to show. So tonight we're going to celebrate. And tomorrow the work is